All right, and welcome in everybody. Hope you all are having a fantastic, fantabulous, awesome freaking day. My name is Garrett Shoemake, and this is the Shoemake Take, coming at you with a Week 10 recap. Before we start, this is the first time this year that I am wearing pajama pants. Yes, the first time of the year, because guess what? It is cold outside where I live. We got a cold front, and all day it has been in the 50s. Now, unlike most Floridians who are like absolutely losing their mind, I'm over here like, this is freaking awesome. I love the cold weather. I love it when the temperature comes down. It's so freaking hot all year round. So to finally get some nice weather, it's fantastic. Like, honestly, like if we could be like every other state where like in November it starts to drop into like, the 60s, maybe like low 70s if you're like in like southern Georgia maybe. But like if we could get that in November, like actually start dropping into the 60s, drop into maybe low 70s at best consistently like every single year, I'd be in heaven. Like this would be fantastic. And then December rolls around. Okay, we're gonna get into the 60s, 50s, and we actually have a winter. But no, in December we're gonna jump back up into the 80s. It's going to be low 80s throughout all of December, and then it'll start getting really cold in January. That's how Florida works. Florida's not like everywhere else. It's its own. It's literally its own little world in of itself, whether it's the land, the weather, the people. No, we're in our own little ecosystem. We're all in our own little bubble here in the state of Florida. But it was nice having some cold weather, being in the 50s. Like I said, wearing my pajama pants for the first time this year. And you know what? I feel really comfortable and I'm happy with that. So other than that, NFL Week 10, like I said, was very volatile in terms of my predictions because, like I said, we had multiple teams that had similar records, a bunch of divisional matchups, and times like these are when predicting games can be very scary. And that's exactly what happened. A couple games didn't go like I thought they would, and wouldn't you know it, my predictions suffered because of it. It wasn't awful, but I haven't looked at it specifically, but I think my predictions is kind of closer to being mid. Like my predictions I got right compared to the ones I got wrong are almost neck and neck with each other off the top of my head as I'm trying to think about it. But it turns out, yeah, I was right. It wasn't very favorable for me. So that sucked. But honestly, I expected it. I was kind of worried about it. So I'm not going to I'm not going to break a leg over about it. It's no big deal. But with that being said, we have to recap all of the games that happened. The top 5 games kind of lived up to the hype. Number 5 was good. Number 4, what was number 4? Oh my goodness, I am so sorry. I can't remember the top. Number 4 was entertaining. Like Ravens Vikings was okay. I enjoyed watching it. And then number 3, Eagles Packers, never mind. That was an absolute crap show. That was awful, but in a weird way. Like I did enjoy it. Like I will say that. Like most people would say it was awful. Was it boring? Yeah, those points where it was boring most of the time. But honestly, like it was pretty good. And then number 2, Patriots Bucs was fun until it wasn't at the end when the Patriots pulled away. And then Rams 49ers was also pretty fun. Like overall top 5 games weren't bad at all. Like I thought there was a good slate for me so far. So let's go ahead and recap it. Let's talk about it all and what happened. So I guess that's all I got for you. Without further ado, it's time to do what we always say, and that is to let it recap. Starting with number 5, the Bears make a 10-point comeback to win 24-20, and this was quite the show. Too bad for New York though, but they did accomplish key one, running the ball. 169 yards as a team is good. Tyrone Tracy stepped up, and Jackson Dart provided some juice before leaving with a concussion, and then key 2, scoring points. They were doing fine, but in the end, Chicago woke up, and for New York, with Russell Wilson in the game, they simply could not respond, so they needed to do a little better, at least to me. And then key 3, bowing up in the red zone, here's the big oopsie. They allowed 3 touchdowns to their only 1, and that's not a winning recipe, and it ultimately led to Brian Daboll getting fired, getting canned. But look at this great catch, though. Amazing by Darius Slayton. They fall to 2-8. All right, Chicago, we got something brewing here. Key 1, playing balanced ball, A+. They ran it and threw it effectively, and when it mattered, they were able to get on track and complete their comeback. Key 2, no turnovers. Bingo! There were 3 turnovers on down, but they matched that with the Giants along with this Jackson Dart fumble. That is a win. And then key 3, winning in the red zone. That's a 3rd strike. That is a turkey, as they score touchdowns 3 out of 4 times. Could they make a realistic playoff push? They are looking frisky right now as they rise to 6-3. Moving up north to number 4, where the Ravens take down Minnesota 27-19, and Baltimore is getting heated up, winning 2 straight games here. Key one for them, running the ball. They did well as a team. Derrick Henry didn't have his best performance, but he didn't need to be. And then key 2, containing JJ Squared, JJ McCarthy and Justin Jefferson. Great job, no downfield shots. Marlon Humphrey gets a pick here and only 37 yards for JJ. Great work. And then continuing the trend with key 3, the defense looked improved. And they definitely have gotten better since their bye week. And the Ravens are going to need that big time as they move to 4-5 on the year. Moving to Minnesota, not their best day. There was plenty of growing pains for sure. And it starts with key 1, attacking downfield. It was inconsistent. There were good and bad moments, but in order to win, this needed to be better, of course. Key 2, though, they slowed down Derrick Henry. Only 70 yards, less than 4 yards per carry. That's good. Too bad they didn't slow down the whole thing. And thirdly, key 3, there was not improvement on offense. There was miscues. The run game was not used nearly enough like it should have. And like I said, there was growing pains. But they fall to 4-5. I'm not going to hit the panic button, though. I think the Vikings are going to be okay. Now we move to number 3, where the Eagles escape Lambeau, winning 10-7. And what a defensive battle this was. Only one that I could actually enjoy, like I talked about at the start of the video. Every big play on offense felt so huge, and Philly ended up making more, starting with key 1. They lost it by not reaching the red zone once, but I mean, look at this dot, Devontae Smith. I mean, that's a huge play in the 4th quarter. It's hard to knock on it too much. And then key 2, they were better on 3rd down than Green Bay. This was a big key here. They weren't good either, but they did do better than Green Bay, which they needed that to win. And then key 3, playing balanced ball. They tried. Their run to pass, the numbers? They were good. They were pretty even. But at least they stay committed to their game plan and who they are as a team so far. So I'll pass them for that. And they continue rolling. They moved to 7-2 on the year. For Green Bay, losing 2 straight sucks, especially both at home. That's definitely going to affect playoff seeding later if they make it. But this was a win they let slip away. It should have never came down to the 64-yard kick from Brandon McManus, but that's how the cookie crumbled. Key 1, getting Jordan Love in rhythm. Obviously not. The way these two teams were playing on defense, that was not going to happen. Then key 2, taking care of business on 3rd down. They did not. And those lost opportunities in a game like this are that much more amplified. And then lastly, with key 3, having a killer instinct. Can't have one when you're down the whole game. Oddly enough, it was Nick Sirianni that had that instinct going forward on 4th and 6 here, and it gave the Packers life, but they could not take advantage as they fall to 5-3-1. Moving to beautiful Tampa Bay at number 2, where New England clams up the Bucs offense 28-23, and as weird as it makes me feel, you gotta have some type of happiness for Mike Vrabel and Drake May and the turnaround that they've had. Key 1, attacking the secondary, was a big success. Drake May had some great throws like this one. What? How? He is just that good. Key 2, maintaining possession. They lost it, but honestly, who cares? When Travion Henderson goes for 147 yards and 2 tutties, he was fantastic in this game. Between both of these runs, he was touched once, by the way. Insanity. Now, key 3, winning the penalty battle. Narrowly lost it by 9 yards, but it was enough to win, and they moved to 8-2, winning 7 straight games now. Wow. All right, Tampa, no need to panic, but honestly, I'm starting to have concerns if they're going to do anything in the playoffs. The defense has issues, and the Bucs missing Bucky Irving, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. It's just not going their way right now, and that starts with key 1, not playing smart ball. There were some issues. This 2-point conversion straight up was a stupid call, absolutely unnecessary to do all that, and it ends up with Baker getting destroyed on 4th down to lose the game. And then key 2, winning in the red zone. They tied it with New England, but I said they have to win it. But here it is. Key 3, limiting the deep ball. Once again, the Patriots show their muscle. What a throw to Mac Hollins, though. This was a great ball. The Bucs are going to need to bounce back next week as they fall to 6-3. Thank goodness Carolina lost it in this game or in this week. Moving to number 1 were the Rams ram the 49ers 42-28. And this lived up to the hype for me, even though San Fran was playing catch-up all game long. But for LA, they accomplished key one, breaking the 49ers defense. They dominated in the red zone in a much better job than in their last meeting. And now you're looking at him right now. Devontae Adams showed up looking at key 2. He led the team in receiving yardage, but let's give credit to Puka Nacua. He was right behind him the whole time. These two guys as a duo were awesome to watch. Lastly, with key 3, stopping the pass. They didn't really, Mac Jones played really well, but they scored so many points. The 49ers were playing catch up the whole game, so they get it back and they deny the sweep and move to 7-2. Tough loss for San Fran here, but they did do a good job keeping it close, starting with key 1. Like I said, they played catch up the whole game, but they refused to stay down to the very end, so I can at least appreciate the effort, but that's not a winning formula at the end of the day. Key 2, limiting the explosive pass plays. Stafford went nuts again, throwing 4 touchdowns, and Adams and Nacua, like I said, played very well. And then key 3, they did the exact opposite of dragging the Rams through the mud. They were going to have to make this game hard for LA, and they honestly made it easy as they fall to 6-4 on the year. So with that being said, that's my top 5 games. Like I said, all of them were pretty good for the most part. They all mostly lived up to the hype. Like I said, Eagles-Packers was boring, but also fun at the same time. Like, I enjoyed it because I'm a football nerd. I mean, defense, like when there's a defensive battle like this, it's good. Like, there's definitely the chess match of it I can appreciate a lot. And then Rams, 49ers, Bucs, Patriots, Eagles, Bears, Vikings, Giants were all one-score games, and the Ravens Vikings was close for the majority of the game, and then the Ravens pulled away late. But honestly, like, I can't complain at all. And now we can go look at the rest of the scores from Week 10 as the graphic comes up on screen now. The Raiders Broncos, Denver wins 10-7 here, and quite frankly, this game was boring. There's a difference. At least the Packers and Eagles could move the ball somewhat. The Broncos and Raiders could not move the ball at all. 13 3-and-outs, more penalty yards than total offensive yards. That's a lot. The last time that happened was like in the 1980s or 1970s, if I remember that correctly. So one of the worst games we've genuinely ever seen in a minute. And then Falcons-Colts. Colts get the win in Berlin in overtime, 31-25. Jonathan Taylor, 240 yards, 3 touchdowns. Absolute insane performance from him. They needed that after they got slowed down big time last week against the Steelers. And then Browns-Jets. Jets get the win 27-20. And I thought that the Jets defense would have some problems after trading Sauce Gardner and Quillen Williams. No, they played pretty well in this game, so give them credit where credit's due. They get their second win on the year. And then Saints-Panthers. Saints get the win, 17-7. I had a feeling that an upset was brewing, and I was correct, so I'm going to pat myself on the back for that one. But Tyler Shuck in his second start played better than his first one, and they had a chance, and they went and took advantage and won it. Shout out to their defense. They played really well in this game. Then, here's the big one. Bills-Dolphins. Dolphins win 30-13. Wow, this was not on my bingo card, I'll tell you that much. This is one that I thought I was uber confident that Buffalo was going to win this game. But obviously, it didn't go that way. The Bills were awful in this game, and Miami were able to make some big plays. They were able to get up quickly, and they never got that lead back. Too bad Mike McDaniel decided to take time to trash talk Bills fans in downtown Miami instead of being back in the locker room, and that's why they're 3-7. Then Houston winning 36-29. They came back and won in one of the best fourth quarter comebacks of the year straight up. Davis Mills walking on water. I mean, Jesus Christ. The Jaguars were up 29-10, and they lost this game. Absolute buffoonery. And like, this is something we're going to see with Jacksonville. They're going to have some really good wins, but then you're going to see some losses like this that make you scratch your head. And Trevor Lawrence has still not proven anything to me yet. So I'm just kind of saying that because I want to take a shot at Jacksonville a little bit, I'll be honest. But either way, they should have won that game for sure. And Houston, what an amazing comeback for them. Seahawks beat the Cardinals 44-22. They were up 35-0 at one point. The Seahawks are legit. They are a Super Bowl contender at this point. To me, we'll have to see what happens come playoff time. But man, oh man. Both sides of the ball are playing so well. They're playing some of the best complementary football in the entire NFL right now. It is absolutely fun to watch the Seattle Seahawks play some ball. And then Lions-Commanders. Lions beat the Commanders also 44-22. How about that? And here's this. Dan Campbell, offensive play caller. They took away play calling duties from John Morton, and after doing some research, I saw that people weren't happy with John Morton's play calling, and I thought that was kind of preposterous because looking at how well the Lions offense was moving, but I've seen enough people say that they've not been happy with John Morton, and also there's issues with him taking accountability, so that probably played a much bigger influence, if I'm being honest. But that's kind of a shocker to me, but can't complain. If you drop 44 points in your first time calling plays ever, I'm pretty sure, for Dan Campbell, that's great work right there. He had the glasses and everything. He was committed to the bit. And then, lastly, Sunday Night Football, Chargers beat the Steelers 25-10. That's why I shouldn't have two bolded team names right there next to each other on my script. That's my fault. But Chargers win 25-10, slowed down the Steelers offense. They were able to move the ball effectively against Pittsburgh's defense, and once again, most highest paid defense in the NFL lays a freaking egg. But what's new in Pittsburgh? I mean, their defense has not been very good all year long, so whatever, we'll have to see. They're probably going to lose in the wild card round like they always do. But with that being said, that is going to do it for our Week 10 recap. Going to see you for a Week 11 predictions video then tomorrow on Thursday, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Other than that, I guess we got to do outro, right? Let me gather my thoughts. But how'd your team do this week? Are you happy? Are you not happy? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Secondly, if you are new around here on the channel, please hit the like button and subscribe button. We're trying to build a community here, trying to reach 500 subscribers before the end of the 2025 regular season. At this point, it's starting to look a little bleak, if I'm being honest right now, but we still have a chance to at least make a huge dent into that and finish the season strong. So please do. It would help me a lot. So always make the word out. Hit the two buttons. Yeah, my brain's kind of fried at the moment. And then lastly, make sure you follow me on social media, whether it's Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. I'm trying to start to post on social media a little bit more. I'll be honest, it is very challenging because I haven't done this on a personal level in a very long time, for over a decade. So bear with me as it comes into it starts to settle in a little bit, as we get a little bit more into the habit, into routine. It's going to be tough, but we're going to get there, I promise. And so with that being said, that is going to do it for me into today's video. I love you guys and appreciate you guys. And as always, I will see you all next time.